Oh my goodness. Good morning, Dr. Umar.
Good morning. Good morning. Tell me what's going on with your child, Sister Kim.
Okay. Dr. Umar, it's really a lot. Well, my son is 12 and he has nonverbal autism, developmental delays. But the thing is, he used to hit me, because of his problem, and he would get, really physical and things like that. And while we were at the doctor a few weeks ago, it actually happened September 11th, he hit me with like this cleaning agent, like he threw it at my jaw, and my jaw had got fractured before. It wasn't fractured then, but it had got fractured before.
Now, Sister Kim,
Yes.
just for me to jump in briefly, I've been working with autistic kids and I've been evaluating autistic kids for 25 years. Having autism is never a justification for attacking your parent. He should not be throwing anything at you. He should not be attacking you, and definitely not at 12, because what is he going to be doing at 14 and 15? Physically attacking your parents, that is not a symptom of autism. So is there something else going on here? Why is he attacking his mother? No disability calls for that.
And, and it's so confusing to me because he spreads, I don't know, it's spreading fecal matter. It's normal because I know the doctor was telling me, his doctor.
You said spreading fecal matter is normal?
I'm asking, is that
No,
normal?
ma'am. No, ma'am. If a child is spreading fecal matter, that's a serious issue. First of all, let me ask you, is your son intellectually disabled?
Yes, he has developmental delays.
No. Stay with me. No, ma'am. Developmental delay is a developmental delay. An intellectual disability speaks to his operational level of intelligence. What is your son's operational level of intelligence?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, he does have developmental delay.
No. Not intellectual disability. Does he have an intellectual disability?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your son's IQ score?
Oh, they can't do IQ because they say because he's nonverbal.
Okay, but there are nonverbal intelligence. There are nonverbal intelligence tests, though. He doesn't have to be verbal. There are nonverbal intelligence tests. If a child isn't speaking, we give them a nonverbal intelligence test. But you're sure that there's an intellectual disability going on?
Yes, I know it is because, and I do have a question for you, Doc. It's almost like he's 12 now, and he's very, he's already 5'7". He's a big kid, he's already 5'7", 75. He's very, 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 very strong. And I'm not gonna lie to you, his father is not around. Dr. Umar, you may be a little bit mad at me, but when I was in my 20s, when I was around 25, I kind of brought into multiculturalism.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that,
I understand. You went bunny hopping for a little bit.
Right, his father is Caucasian. We're not together anymore because I wasn't dealing with that.
Okay. How often does he get to see his father? His father is Caucasian. How often does he get to see his father?
Well, this is the thing, Dr. Umar. His father left. He went to Guatemala, and he brought one of those women because he said they're very submissive. His brother had brought a woman from Guatemala as well. And so he was like, leave these American women alone, especially the black one. He said, they got mouth. His brother told him that, And he said, go to Guatemala. You may have to pay a little bit, but at least you won't have to deal with all of the drama. And that's what he told me.
Okay, now take me back to my... Let me take you back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he hasn't seen... Is the father in Chicago?
Oh, no. No, he's in Guatemala.
Okay. When's the last time your father seen his son?
He's seen him maybe last time when he was about 4.
He hasn't seen his
And
father since he was 4 years old, and he's 12?
4. Yes, and I told him, I said, Byron, if you want to see Bryce, if you want to see our son, you're more than welcome. But as far as you and I are concerned, we're done. But, I said, I know children need fathers. Of course, especially boys. They need their father. But I am blessed that my father, is 92. He's wonderful. And he's still, got all his faculties, doing well. So he's kind of, he's helped a lot. And I have 2 big brothers, so they've stepped in, So he does have positive male role models. And when, he also has a one-on-one aide, and he's a male.
Okay.
So, I tried to make sure he's surrounded by males.
Okay, what I'm trying to figure out, because you don't know his IQ score, right? You don't know your son's intelligence score?
But we did do IEP and everything. But they told me that they did observe him in the classroom. Because we had due process. They basically told me, they was like, they said this mom cares. And they said if it was the other way around, let's just say she was hitting him, we wouldn't hesitate to, correct that. They said, what if, next time it's a brick? Because, we're not talking about like little hits here. We're talking about slamming my fingers in the door.
Your son slams your fingers in the door. He spreads feces. He stole. Yeah. How long, listen to me. How long has your son been attacking you? How many years? How long has he been physically assaulting you?
It's been 2 years.
Say that again?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay that you have, you got to let that pain out. You got to let that pain out. That has to be a tough thing. That has to be tough on you.
But Doc, I gotta tell you this before we go on. But what happened is because the doctor saw him hit me like that, stepped in, and they said, he shouldn't be hitting like that. I can still visit. I still see him. I still visit him. I still.
Okay, so your son is institutionalized right now?
Yes, right now.
How long has he been institutionalized?
It's only been since September 11th.
Okay.
And I just want to know, did I do the right thing, Doc? Because I can still see him. As a matter of fact, I'm going tomorrow. Later on today in the morning.
Is he on medication? Is he on medication?
They started it about a month ago.
What does he take?
What's that called? Zyprexa.
Okay. And he was on no meds before that?
He was on nothing before because I was against that. I was like, I don't want to do that. But they said, Kim, we think in his case he might. They said, because they said your case is a little different. They said, this isn't exactly, they said, this isn't, I just want some attention. This is, big.
Well, yeah, this is more than autism. This is much more than autism. Has your son been diagnosed with a psychotic disorder? Do you know?
That's what they're talking about now.
What about schizophrenia? Did they say psychotic disorder or did they say schizophrenia?
They didn't say psychotic. I'm sorry, they didn't say schizophrenia, but they said psychotic disorder.
Okay. That sounds about right. I don't know if the father, had some bad genes, or I don't know if this runs in the father's side of the family.
It does. 2 of the children have it.
Wait a minute. Two of his white father's children have psychosis?
No, not the white children. 2 of the nephews.
Two of the father's white nephews have psychotic disorder.
Yes.
Did you know that before you conceived the child with the white man?
I knew about one, but but I'm thinking, that's his sister, actually even a half sister. So I'm like, what's the odds of that happening to me? I didn't really, because I said, nothing runs in my family like that. So I didn't really think anything of it. But Unfortunately, I think that's what's happened. He picked it up from there,
Okay.
I mean, just the genes,
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't like our children to be institutionalized, but under the circumstances, I don't think you had a choice. I don't think you had a choice. I hope they don't over medicate him, because that's what they do to black children, especially those with psychotic disorders. I also think his son is frustrated. I don't know if he's getting the help he needs. I don't know if he gets the attention he needs. Or their sibling.
He gets all the attention because he's the only grandchild. And
he's the only grandchild. But how many other children do you have?
Just one. It's just him.
Wait a minute. You're the grandmother?
No. I'm the mother. But I only have one child.
He's your only child.
Yes. And you talking about all the love and support. Because he can be sweet and things, hugging me, kissing me. Sometimes, every now and then, he'll say, mama, mama. Sometimes. Usually he's nonverbal. But occasionally he is, mama, mama. He says certain things, like mama. He knows, he gets attention. Like I said, we didn't mistreat him. We treat him very well. Matter of fact, if anything, I may have even overindulged because, Dr. Umar, I'm not going to lie to you too about this. I felt kind of guilty. I felt guilty for him. So bad. So I would let him do things maybe I let him stay up a little later than I should have, sometimes. Or if he wanted that last, like, I don't know, like if it was like one Pop-Tart, it was his favorite. I would let him have it, I wanted to make sure he was happy. But the hitting and all of that, and the spitting and all that started like about 2 years ago, I want to say.
Okay. Okay, well, we hope things get better. We pray for the young man and yourself. You have my number, so if we ever need to speak, privately, just shoot me a text message and we can schedule that.
And Dr. Umar, I was going to ask you, could I sign up with you? And I don't mind paying whatever fee, because my boyfriend too, he thinks it's a good idea. And Dr. Umar, and by the way, I have a new boyfriend in my life, a new gentleman, and he's black. Of course, he's wonderful, and him and Bryson loved each other. They were good friends. I never left him alone. Of course, you don't do that. It wasn't like that. But he loved Bryson, and he said, but he did tell me. He said, Kim, with him hitting you, because he would get upset. Not with me, but with him. He wouldn't get upset with him when he would hurt him. He would tell me, like, Kim, I know you may not want to hear this, but he said, this ain't quite normal. He said, I don't think this is normal, baby. He said, I think you may need to take him, into the doctor. And I had taken him before, and they told me, eventually you may have to institutionalize him, and I didn't want to hear that. I was like, oh, well, I'll take care of him. I said, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I'll take care of him. But then it became too much for even me. And
I got you.
It's just too much.
I understand.
I'm sorry, Tom.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. It's not easy being a black mother, a single mother, parent of a psychotic child. That's not easy. So don't blame yourself. I just want you to make sure you stay involved in his treatment at that facility, because if they don't see you coming up there, they'll be more likely to pile the drugs on, and he could even be mistreated by the staff. So you have to go up there. They have to see you. You got to ask questions. Make sure you stay involved, because they will mistreat your son when you're not looking, and they will overdose him on those medications. So just make sure you stay involved.
Oh, yes. I go every week, sometimes twice a week. I go every week, sometimes twice a week. I got him into the private day school.
Okay.
And I know that's a good thing. They said the fact that I got him into that private day school, they said that's really good.
Okay.
They said because they said the public school, they couldn't handle it. It was too much for them.
Okay.
I mean, he had even ran around naked at the school. And they were like, and called me. He's like, Miss Rose, he's running around. He's naked. What do we do? I said, well, did you catch him? You know, I'm just trying to joke, you know, laugh to keep him crying. But yes, you know, we finally calmed him down. But that I have, but you know, it's tough. It's very tough.
I understand. I understand. Stay prayed up.
His feet, you know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go to the next caller. But you have my number. So feel free to text me if I need to call you and if we need to set up a consultation. But go easy on yourself. Enjoy this time while your son is away because he won't be away forever. So make sure you take this time to get yourself together. So when he does come home, you'll be able to focus on him. So I would take this time to, you know, get yourself together while he's in there because he won't be there forever, you know, and get ready to receive him when he comes home. And we could talk about some things that you need to do when he does come home because you're going to need a serious behavior plan in that home. You're going to have wraparound services, a behavior specialist, a mobile therapist, an intensive case manager. And we're going to also have to get to a point where we can introduce him to some independent living. Of course, this is 5-6 years away from now, but we're going to have to start getting him prepared for independent living because you will not always be there for him, and he's going to have to learn how to navigate this world. Because what we don't want is what we see so often in our community, where a lot of our psychotic brothers and sisters are on the street, homeless, because they've shut down so many mental health hospitals and turned them into prisons. And so we don't want that for him. So we got to teach him some basic living skills so he can navigate this world and take care of himself when the time comes, or if there ever comes a time where you're not available to care for him. So let's talk again soon. You have my number.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, Queen. No problem. God bless.
Much love.
Much love. All right, King. No problem.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Stop mixing your seed. Stop mixing your seed. Stop mixing your seed. No more bunny hopping. No more bunny hopping. No more bunny hopping. I'm just shocked at the mother who's gone through so much with the Caucasian father who has psychotic disorder running in his DNA. And no shame or fault to her, but that's why when we talk about the snow bunny crisis, I need y'all to understand why I'm against the snow bunny crisis. These white women drop our kids off at the hospital and leave them, okay? Or you're having children with a Caucasian who has some kind of genetic disorder, psychotic disorder that runs in the family. They got some ancestral demons in their blood, and you don't know about these ancestral demons, and you pass them on to your black child. The snow bunny crisis is a problem. I don't hate nobody. I'm not against nobody, but we do not benefit from dating outside the race. We don't. We do not benefit from dating outside the race. If you have a question about your child, 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. You suffer from the Umar Johnson crisis. Is that a snow bunny? Is that a snow bunny? Wait a minute. King Abdul. It's a female in the picture. Looks like a snow bunny in the picture, but it's a male name. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not dealing with what's happening over there. That doesn't involve me. I'm an African. Y'all care more about other people's issues than your own. Stop worrying about that war. You have a war right here. Stop worrying about that war between two non-African groups. You are at war right here. How you got time to worry about somebody else's war that doesn't involve you? There's a war against our children. There's a war against our women. There's a sex trafficking war. There's a miseducation war. There's a police genocide war. There's a homelessness war. There's a hunger war. There's a gentrification war. There's a mass incarceration war. There's clearly a psychological war against African people. You don't want to focus on the war. You got about 10 wars going on in Black America. You have wars against the African diaspora. There's a war for African resources. There's a war for African land. But instead of focusing on Africa's problems, instead of focusing on Africa's problems, instead of focusing on the Caribbean's problems, instead of focusing on Central America's problems, instead of focusing on our brothers and sisters in Europe, our French Africans and British Africans and German Africans and Irish Africans, instead of focusing on Belgian Africans' problems, you want to focus on a war between two groups who can't stand black people. You want to focus on a war between two groups who can't stand black people. But then you tell me we should not be worried about Africa. We need to solve our own problems first. That's what you tell me. We shouldn't be worried about Africa. We should solve our own problems first. That's what you tell me. But soon when the white man goes to war, or the brown man goes to war, or the yellow man goes to war, you all up in his business. So why is it okay for you to get involved in the international problems of non-black people? Why is it okay for you to get involved in the international problems of non-black people? But it's not okay for you to get involved in the international problems of African people. Can somebody help me understand, overstand, and understand that? Can somebody help me understand, overstand, and understand why you don't want to get involved in Africa's problems, but you always want to get involved in other international problems of non-black people? You don't want nothing to do with Africa. You said Africa is not your problem. You don't care about Africa. But soon when the white man goes to war in another section of the world, you are all in support of him. You all up in his business. You marching for him. You protesting for him. You donating for him. So why is it okay for you to get involved in the international issues of other groups, but you don't want to get involved in the international issues of African people? You know why? You know why? Because you are still seeking psychological and emotional validation from your oppressor. That's why. That's why you want to look white, you want to live white, you want to dress white, you want to marry white, because you are looking to be accepted. 400 years later, you are still looking for emotional and psychological validation from Caucasians. Let me see if we got any parents on the call. Any parents with questions? This is the Black Parent Teleconference. Why is your 3-year-old son hitting you? Somebody help me understand why our children are hitting us. She says he gets really angry and he hits me. Do I have any suggestions? Oh, yeah. If my 3-year-old hits me, I'm going to spank that ass. That's my suggestion. If my 3-year-old hits me, I'm going to spank that ass. Putting your hands on your parents, as far as I'm concerned, can earn you corporal punishment. Your 3-year-old son should not be hitting you. Where is your behavior plan, Felicia? You need a behavior plan. Consequences and rewards for your 3-year-old son. Early bed, time out, loss of privilege, loss of toys, loss of tablet, loss of attention from mom, loss of outdoor activity. You need a behavior plan. You should not be spanking your child every time he does something wrong. But if your 3-year-old thinks it's okay to hit his mother, earlier on the call, we had a 12-year-old who hit his mother, psychotic disorder. You have a 3-year-old kid putting his hands on his mother, ass whipped. That's mine. That's what I'm doing. Your 3-year-old son should not be putting his hands on his mother. You saying, do I have any suggestions? Oh, yes. Get his ass in check. That's my suggestion. Get his 3-year-old ass in check. That's my suggestion. No 3-year-old should be putting his hands on his mother. 9858. I got my own incense. I got shout out to the African Cultural Arts Forum. I have my own incense, Dr.Umar incense. You can get them from the African Cultural Arts Forum in West Philadelphia, 52nd Street. You can get your own Dr. Umar incense from the African Cultural Arts Forum on 52nd Street. Go to acaf.com, African Cultural Arts Forum. Get you some Big Papa incense. Okay? Get you some Big Papa incense from the African Cultural Arts Forum. When I make love to my queens, I burn my own incense. We only make love to my incense. I will never make love. I will never make black magic with my queens if I'm not burning the Ifa Tunde incense. So make sure you get you some Ifa Tunde incense. Okay? You will only conceive alpha males and goddess princesses if you burn the Ifa Tunde incense while you making black magic. Oh yes, I only make love if I'm burning Ifa Tunde incense. Make sure you get you some Ifa Tunde incense from the African Cultural Arts Forum, 52nd Street, West Philadelphia. Don't get fresh, ladies. It's only 7:30 in the morning and you're going to church in a few hours. Don't get fresh.